Okay, another question. What is the dirtiest and the biggest lie that has come out of your mouth in what situation?
Dirty and biggest lie. I don't really like to lie. Like, I'd rather just tell you what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love to lie. The dirtiest lie? Damn, that sounds so. That shit sounds so ratchet. Like the dirtiest, nastiest lie you've ever told.
Croy,
That's just horrible.
Croy's helping me with my questions.
I see y'all trying to throw shade, you guys, on those questions. Oh, God. Okay. And catch Kim on her live. She's probably going to go over there and talk to you guys because this is going to cut us off right here in just a few minutes.
What's up, my Finland loves? It's Miss Finland D coming to you all from Entertainment News. Because this part is in the title, I wanted to talk about it first. All right, but there's going to be a part of the video where it looks like Kim just came on camera and Nene is screaming and all of that. When you see that part, don't be confused and be like, well, she already talked for 2 minutes. Why are we seeing the introduction? This is almost like watching a movie. You see some action in the beginning and then on the screen flashes, earlier that week or 1 month earlier, something like that. Just think about it this way, okay? Let's get into it.
Would Kim come back? I always tell people I don't think you would.
Well, here's I think what happens is that there's a lot of miscommunication when I'm there.
Yeah. Would Kim come back for $2 million? No. That's just not enough money.
2 million, a therapist.
They said 2 million. It's hilarious, Kim.
A beach house, a house. I mean, it'd be a minute, but I think honestly there were some stipulations. Got rid of the fucking crazies.
That's it.
I think that's I mean, and getting rid of somebody. I mean,
I hear Bria.
That girl.
I didn't know y'all can hear me.
Fucking devil. So
I know it's a lot.
I had to jump in real quick because this part is in the title, so I didn't want you guys to wait. So I'm going to talk about it right away. So for those of you who missed it, okay. Basically, they asked Kim in the comment section on Instagram Live if she would come back. And Nene just read that question out loud, okay? And you heard her response. There's a lot of miscommunication when she's there. And then they came back to that question, but would you come back for $2 million? And she said a beach house, a therapist, $2 million if they got rid of the crazies, okay? That was the first insult. And then she repeated herself. If they got rid of, and before she could complete that sentence, her daughter Brielle in the background said, Kenya, okay? And that's when Nene started laughing. Brielle said it so low that I didn't even catch it the first time. But man, you said K. You don't even have to say Kenya Moore entire name. And Nene Leakes gets joy, out of all things Kenya Moore as long as you're being negative towards her, okay? That's when Kim responded, calling Kenya Moore the devil. This woman, this lunatic right here, is the one calling Kenya Moore crazy and the devil. Yeah, Kim's definitely describing herself because she and her daughter were crazy enough to do the whole Roach Gate situation to Nene, okay? Because apparently going to Candy's mansion and calling it the ghetto wasn't enough. She had to go after another black woman and, talk about roaches being in her house and all of that. Oh no, that wasn't enough. She was crazy enough to then stalk Nene. She and her team were then crazy enough to stalk Nene and get a picture of Nene parking her car in a handicapped parking spot. Okay? crazy enough to go on Twitter and think that it was cute and funny to say that your child is going to perform a sexual act on John Legend for some tickets. That's not something to joke about. Okay? There have to be a line. I don't know what parent would think that tweet was funny. Regardless of how old Brielle is or was, it's not something that a mother should have ever tweeted. But Kim was crazy enough to do that. Crazy enough to attack somebody constantly. Kenya responded. Now she wants to run to her car and cry. You know what I'm saying? But yet, Kenya Moore is the one that she's describing as crazy and the devil, as if she didn't come on this show so desperate for a check, attacked Kenya at Sheree's house, then attacked Kenya at Nene's house, kept going until Kenya finally responded and put her in her place. Came on this show and lied on every single body, but yet she's referring to Kenya as crazy and the devil. And let me just remind you all of some of the things that Nene wrote, which are worse than what Kenya said. Brielle, we don't have roaches. If you found one, you brought it with you or it fell out of your funky, I'm not even blocking it out. Read it. Please know I will get you all the way together when you start bleeping with me and mine. Go somewhere and let the air out of those fake lips. Fake, and fake, because you would never be Kylie Jenner. Your trashy mama should have taught you better. My home is brand new, but you guys were so jealous of it, you couldn't even give a compliment. You had to stoop so low and be so disgusting, racist, trash, jealous, KKK, thirsty. You better run your bleep back to a child's place. Kenya didn't write that. Kenya didn't even go that far. Kenya repeated what was on Twitter.
So now I'm just constantly swinging, like,
Yeah,
I had a short fuse for like my kids. So when Knucklehead went there and was talking about my kids, it just kind of blew me up.
So I don't want to hear anything about Kenya spoke on my kids, and that's why Nene destroy you, your whole family, and your kids. And what are you doing? Just say, I don't like Kenya Moore, and that's it. And it's understandable because she doesn't care. She was never your friend, and she will never care. But don't sit here and pretend like Nene did not do worse to you, even though she's known you the longest. Then Nene continued. Kim and her daughter, whole family are racist. What her daughter did at my home, which she nor Kim were invited to, so be clear about that as well, was pure disgusting, racist, learned behavior, etc. And are not off limits when you allow your child to talk to adults any kind of way, post disrespectful things on social media, and so on. Kim is a calculating, bipolar, racist with a horrible mouth who uses black folks for her come up. And the sick part in all of this is, and then for Nene to sit there in the presence of the woman who did everything to try to ruin her and laugh, all in the name of hate, deeper, dirty, and dark things Kim did on that show. I don't have to repeat all of them. But it's funny to me that she can call Kenya the devil and say the things that she said about Kenya, and Nene, who she tried to ruin, is sitting there laughing like, girl, what are you doing? No amount of hatred for somebody else, no amount of a check or anything should ever allow you to stoop this low. You can forgive someone and be at peace with yourself. You don't have to do all this. Now, let me remind you of a few people that basically told Nene that, she was going to go running back to Kim. And Kim also put in Nene in check that is, she's only racist when they fall out. Let's go ahead and remind you all of that. And then we're going to move on into more of what Kim and Nene have to say. Always picking and choosing when she wants Kim to be her bestie and when she wants her to be racist and prejudiced. If she's all that, then why do you keep making up with and becoming friends with her? Just take it back to the Target parking lot and be done with it 911 style. Nene responded, "You are wrong. You are completely wrong. I've always chosen for Kim to stay her distance. Hey and bye really works for me. I'm the one that chose not to do a show with her. She's a racist, but you can call it whatever you want." Nene, aren't you on live with Kim? Laughing? Telling her to come back? You can forgive, be at peace with yourself and your heart, and leave people exactly where they are. You don't have to do this part where you want a racist to come back on the show and attack another black woman because you don't get along with that black woman. You don't sit on Instagram Live with the racist and her daughter and listen to her daughter disrespect another black woman and listen to her disrespect another black woman while you laugh, because guess what? It's not you. You lose any type of credibility. Nene and Kim Zolciak posted a flyer to do an Instagram Live together, okay? Now, I included a short clip in there where Kim said that this was her first time seeing Nene. Okay. Seeing Nene since the reunion.
This
will be the first time that I've actually seen Nene.
Okay, you send a request.
Since the reunion in 17. Isn't that funny?
So this right here simply explains exactly what Nene is doing. They are not even cool to the point to FaceTime each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you try to tell me you want us to believe that, yes, Kim and I, we are cool again. And we've put everything behind us. But this is the first time since the reunion that, like I said in the previous video, anyone who hates Kenya Moore, you are instantly her BFF, okay? Instantly her BFF. It's sickening.
What's poppin'?
You're here! Kim Zolciak, you look great!
Oh, so do you!
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. These little ones being home all the time is a little rough, honey.
Yes, Kim Zolciak is here. Kim and I have not seen each other since the last reunion we sat beside each other. It's the last time we saw each other, right, Kim?
That's right. That's what I thought about.
This is the last time we saw each other. So she brought that up. I didn't even realize we hadn't seen each other. It had been that long. But I feel like I see you because I see you on social media.
I know. I feel the same way. And we text. Is that really the last time we saw each other? I guess it really is, yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
I think 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, it really is. It's really the last time we really saw each other.
3 years ago.
It's been a minute since we've seen each other. It really has.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I feel really good. I told you last night I was sick for like 3 days.
Right.
But I'm feeling much better. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I loaded up.
Where's your drink? I don't see it.
I have it. Here, listen. I have some champagne. I'm drinking some Moet.
I have a white Russian or wine. I'm not sure which one I want to drink, but we'll try.
I'm in a champagne moment. So, you guys, a lot of people were asking us questions, and one of the things they were saying was, how did you and Kim get back together?
You are fucking on a roll.
I know, They were like, how did you and Kim get back together? And I haven't answered it yet. I just waited till you got on here because I wanted you to explain with me. My husband, as most of you guys know, my husband was sick with cancer. And I just felt like, for me, life is just too short. So Kim's son had an accident, and I felt like we should just move on. Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I think between Cash being bit by the dog, Greg, and all this happened around the same time. Life is really just too short. Yeah. I think, and it just kind of reminds you your life can change in an instant. So we've been friends for a long time.
Now, don't get me wrong, those situations were terrible, and I'm glad that Greg is healthy and doing well. I'm also glad that Kim's son is healthy and doing well. But the reason why Nene Leaks and these people friendships don't work out is because they're not real friendships. They are convenience friendships, okay? Friendships for a check. That's what it is. Also, when they do attempt to have real friendships, they do not want to face the real issues. People don't want to take accountability of what happened or the part that they play in it. So they try to, overlook it and let's just move on. But they're still hurt and pain there. And all it takes is one reminder of that, and all of those things resurface and you're back to square one. Now, a moment happened in this Instagram live that led the live to end abruptly because once again, those feelings were rehashed, okay?
Okay, another question. What is the dirtiest and the biggest lie that has come out of your mouth in what situation?
Dirty and biggest lie. I don't really like to lie. Like, I'd rather just tell you what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love to lie. The dirtiest lie? Damn, that sounds so. That shit sounds so ratchet. Like the dirtiest, nastiest lie you've ever told.
Croy,
That's just horrible.
Croy's helping me with my questions.
Bye. I see y'all trying to throw shade, you guys, on those questions. Oh God.
Okay, so Croy decided to select this question for Kim to ask Nene. Okay? What did I say? Didn't I just say this about sweeping things under the rug and pretending like everything is all good and moving on and a friendship will never ever be successful if that's what people keep doing? Didn't I just talk about that? It's clear that Kim still feels like you're calling me a liar. I didn't lie. Everything I said happened, actually did happen. And we're not going to move forward with this friendship if you don't accept your part and then I don't accept my part. Yes, I was wrong for, because if you heard Kim said we've texted here and there. So they have not had a real conversation. Those are some deep and hurtful things that happened. If someone can come in your house, if someone can hate you so much on that level where they came in your house and did that in your house where you lay your head, that's not someone you don't ever want to mess with. I don't care. And Nene is not broke. You know what I'm saying? She always screaming she's a rich B word. So I don't even understand why she's even stooping this level to tolerate someone like him. That's why it's like the hatred for Kenya can't be that powerful for this to happen. It's just something else. I don't get it. But as you can see, Kim still feels like Nene is a liar and Nene lied on her and did all of these things to her. And that's why that question was asked.
So I know, it's a lie.
I think it's all just kind of gotten to the point where it's just like they live in fantasy land, some of them, like it's not all real. They're not showing their real side, their real life.
I think when we started, it was, we were quite different. We were raw. We were just saying anything and doing anything. And, we were having a good time. So I felt like we told our real stories. I'm not saying that they don't, but I feel like they think about it.
Yeah, I think they think about it, and I think they strategically kind of plan it out. And
Nene always talking about real story and how raw and uncut she is and all of that. When Nene had real stories to tell, but she chose not to tell her real stories, okay? Because she wanted to keep that off Bravo camera and continue to pretend that everything is going great in her relationship with Greg when it's not, okay? So what she did was, I'm not going to tell millions of people that my husband was talking to an employee of mine and something inappropriate was going on. I'm not going to tell millions of people that we have an open marriage. He can do what he want to do and I can do what I want to do. I'm not going to be raw, uncut, and honest and really tell people what's going on in my household. However, I'm going to talk about it on a podcast where it's going to get around. People are going to hear about it, but not the millions of people that watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta that's going to judge me, my life, and everything I got going on right now. So I'm going to continue to drag somebody else relationship, okay, while I pretend that mine is perfect when it's not. However, when people try to throw that story back in my face or try to question my relationship, I can then say, well, I talked about it openly on a podcast or on a blog, so that means it's obvious that I'm not hiding it. But she knows that when it's in the blogs or somewhere, people will talk about it a little bit but move on. But when you put it on a huge platform like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the judgment is on a different level. And that's the reason why I applaud Kenya more, because Kenya didn't have to give Bravo what she gave Bravo this season, okay? Kenya went too far. She didn't even have to go that far about saying anything else about her relationship. You know, my husband and I were not doing good right now and move on, because she literally is carrying the show, but she put it all out there on the table. There's nothing cute in a fantasy about your husband disrespecting you on TV and all of the things that we have seen, you know, going on in Kenya Moore relationship. So Nene got some nerve talking about they were real and raw and uncut and all of that, when she's not being real and keeping her real story of Bravo cameras. But you know what? Desperate times. So I'm sure she's going to have a storyline next season, because you can't keep coming at Kenya Moore. Don't get me started with Kim, who told so many lies about her life, her relationship status, and all of that. And she's talking about raw and uncut and people think about things.
Bring Phaedra and Sheree back. Would Kim come back? I always tell people I don't think you would.
Well, here's, I think, what happens is that there's a lot of miscommunication when I'm there, or just in general, right? Because we have a lot of history, right? Yeah. So, and we're actually a little sensitive, I feel like, at times. Yeah. So if something is said wrong, or a producer says something that I did this when I didn't, and then you catch wind, it's like, fuck it, all hell breaks loose, we just lose our minds. We did say that we were going to, like, always communicate, and we always say this, but I don't feel like we do. So,
but we always come back together. Don't you think?
Huh?
We always come back together.
Yeah, we always come back together. You know, I think that I was looking, I guess when I came back, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be great because I'm always with the kids. I film with my family. This is going to be girl time. This is going to be really great. And that was definitely, I mean, you know, I'm a lot different than I was, I feel like 13 years ago. Like, yeah. I mean, I never, you know, gotten like physical fights with people in my life until this fucking show. Yeah. And so now I'm just constantly swinging, like, you know.
Come back and hang out with the girls. I don't understand why they come on Instagram Live and do this. You really you're going to come back on the show, lie on everybody, okay? Be aggressive towards people and have a summer vacation? Really? Now I would understand if you came on a show with love and light and you're just this cool chick and people are picking on you. I get it. But you came back on the show gun blazing and lying on every single body, but you expected it to be sunflowers and roses. Yeah, okay. Delusional.
I think if there's a more controlled atmosphere and we go back to kind of the OGs, I think it would be great, because I think we all know each other. We all had, me and Sheree had such a good time.
We did when we first started this, but, you know, it's gotten really different. I mean, you're not here. You know, I feel like, you know, I don't know how some of the viewers feel, but I always look at it like I'm always the person that's being ganged up on. And I feel like I don't feel like that part is very fair.
Well, so, here's the thing that I don't understand about the reunion when I was there. Like, I feel like every year, from what Brielle's friend Brandon kind of keeps me in the loop with all of this stuff, and I talked to him before I got on here with you because I wanted to make sure I was somewhat knowledgeable with things, but that they always pick one person to gang up on. And I just feel like that's not, I just don't feel like that's good. I just feel like it's a lot of pressure. I literally have PTSD from the fucking reunion, I feel like. No, it's fucking insane. Like, and I can't, I feel like we have so many positive things going on, but then I don't know what it is, but one person out of the season every year is just
ganged up on. Yeah.
And then that's it for the whole season. You're fucked. Like the whole season. At the end
And
of the day.
and what bothers me too is that I feel like they can all sit to each other and talk.
Yeah.
Like if somebody else has done the exact same thing, they're like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry, you're sorry." Oh, it's Nene, pull out a gun and blow her head off.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, no, for real. So, all the calls to production, all the fucking whiners that call, like, I've never once ever called a producer and asked to have somebody removed off the show, nor did I ever call and complain about some bitch. Like, we film, we do our thing, I go home and I do my life, you know? So I feel like, I mean, Housewives is a bigger commitment than Don't Be Tardy for sure.
Yes.
Time-wise too. But,
yes.
I mean,
very long.
It's so many ups and downs. It's a lot of stress, right? I'm fucking losing my hair out over it. Like, it's a lot of stress.
Yes, it is. It can be very stressful. Okay, go ahead. Tell me your question.
Okay, so when you look back on your life, at what moment do you say, or when did you ever say, like, what the fuck was I thinking?
I don't know if I ever looked back and said that. I actually look back a lot of times and say, damn, I can't, when we're speaking of the Housewives, I always look back and say, damn, I can't believe this little show actually changed my life to this extent.
Right.
It really, really changed my life. And I don't regret it. That's for sure. I definitely don't regret it. I've learned a lot over the years. You know, we've grown up.
For sure.
We definitely have grown up over the years. So I feel like I've grown up and I don't regret anything that's happened. Honestly, I don't. I would like for them to not happen anymore. But I don't regret them. I just don't want them to happen anymore.
Right.
You know, because I've learned from them. And so, yeah, that kind of stuff. So,
love you.
Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.
Nene and Kim had a lot more to say, but I'm going to end it here because it's long enough, okay? So let me just touch on a few more points. When Kim was talking about the OGs and trying to behave like things were different, I'm like, didn't you say Nene choked you back in the day? Didn't Sheree adjusted your wig in the middle of the street? And when I say adjusted, you know what I mean? Y'all still had fights and issues and disgusting moments and close your legs to married men, and all of those things still happened way before any of the other girls who came after the OG, okay? Let's go back to the fighting and violence. Kim, you said Nene choked you. So then for you to turn around and say, oh, someone talking about your kids, so now you're fighting. Yeah, I've been fighting from the beginning of the show. So don't try to blame the new girls for anything, because the show was about drama and everything else way before anyone else came on this show, the Kenya and all of the other girls who came after. So just stop it. So that's one. When she said Brio friend Brandon told her because I'm like, girl, stop. You know you watched the show. Stop lying. Anyway. and then when Nene tried to talk about being ganged up on and looking for empathy and all of that, I'm like, girl, you gonna have that conversation with Kim? The woman who claimed you and the other black girls ganged up on her, and the moment that everyone started to call her racist and all of that, you gonna talk about being ganged up on with Kim? Did you guys see Kim's reaction? Did you see her body language? I was just like, yeah, this live is so awkward. How are you being ganged up on when everybody is begging somebody else to kiss your butt, but yet you're being ganged up on? Girl, she's so exhausting. Because Kim didn't get the answer she was looking for when she asked that, nastiest lie. She came back with another question if Nene had any regrets. Okay, hoping that Nene would have said, I regret for choking you. Kidding. Nene would never admit to that because it wasn't on camera. All right. I regret the way I came at you at the reunion. Nene don't have any regret there because Kim was rude to everybody. So everything she got at that reunion, she deserved. And then she was hoping Nene would have probably said, you know what, I regret saying that you lied about your illnesses, saying that Greg, had cancer and A, B, and C almost happened to him. I want to take that back. Nope. Nene said, I don't regret anything and I do not lie, even though we all know that Nene lied. Okay, she lies a lot, but she wasn't about to give Kim any of that. So what I saw was a power struggle. Okay, no one willing to take accountability for anything, no one willing to apologize and all of that. So they need an off-air, deep, few hours conversation, probably have a mediator and all of that for them to be able to move forward. Because even if they do try to do this whole thing for money, it will definitely hit the fan and fall apart the same way how their show that they were about to film and then he pulled the plug on it, fell apart. Because this live, yeah, it wasn't it. Now, Nene is known for being negative, dragging people and all of that when she comes on live. Coming on live with Kim, people were expecting a dragging season. And you already know who they were expecting to get it, okay? All right. Well, what I think is the very first night, things fell apart. So that same energy they had from the first night, we're going to go in. That energy shifted. Also, they noticed that, dang, okay, we're being called haters and all of that. And they knew that if they just focused on one person and kept going in, it was going to turn into bullying and hating fest and not, a decent live. And so they took a different approach. But that approach fell flat because their supporters are used to them being shady and dragging people. When that's what you put out there and you try to change it, then people are like, what are you doing? Okay. So, of course, Nene had to save face and say, we're going to take it over to YouTube and all of that. I understand you get a check when you put it on YouTube compared to being on Instagram for free. But nah, Nene been messy all week, all month, okay, on Instagram Live. This just fell flat. Take care, be safe, and I'm praying for all of you. The end of here, my final loves. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.